ground, protected by two solid metal hatches located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. Never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets. Emergency services at the end of a phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, families, lovers, all there if something goes wrong. Part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me. Friends, parents, teachers were too scared or too far away. I've jotted down a note, just in case. The notebook was in. Notes. The entrance to the cave is caved in. There must be another way out. There could be anything living down here. Heroic, so I missed that part. Yeah, I have to get through that part too. Great. Okay. But I'm okay to go. Office, explosives, northern area, workshop, and storage. Well, I guess we'll go to office first. I'm just gonna pretend like nothing is gonna be out there, because there isn't anything. And I don't want to see it. Frankly. A jar. 15th of August, 1945. Command bunker, emergency airstrip Zulu. Weekly report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received. Standard emergency drills carried out. Routine runway maintenance completed. I've ordered maintenance be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. The 1 wounded figure is no cause for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this, in that I allowed them access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom, and I'm sure that's where they learnt the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I've now locked up that manual in the chest in my office and will keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hands. The space is so disconnected sometimes I feel as if this war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Supplies requisition order. Dynamite for excavation purposes. 7 bayonets, not necessary in my opinion, but procedure states we should have a full complement. 1 industrial ice pick for removing the damn ice that forms in the external hatch. 1 pair of reading glasses, category 7C. An order for myself. My glasses are in rather poor state of repair and could do with replacing. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. 1 point of curiosity, some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at that artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of this light, which constantly emanates from it. Chief NCO M. Major. Okay. Nothing. A note and a key. Copenhagen Post, Monday 17th August 1930. Psychotropic deposits at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mine-altering chemicals naturally sewn into the rock may be the cause of high suicide rates at a Greenland mine. The university, which has recently been conducting studies into isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of a northwestern lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally higher suicide rate, local figures for the last 100 years are abnormally high, at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace compared to the national average of 29. On further investigation, experts diagnosed in many of the miners symptoms in common with the earlier stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that natural deposits of lysergic acid, a pH4 formula recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in the rocks. Few locals were conducive to an interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Inuit spirits known as the Turngate live in the mountains. The university is awaiting the results of chemical testing. Studies continue. Dun, dun, dun. A man, an old man, clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before, still I know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. Oh, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. Batteries. Picture of a British platoon. It must date back to the World War II. I suppose this mine was converted into some kind of bunker. Rotting wood and shelves must be the added moisture from that grate. This whole room is putrefying. Light, I miss being outside already. This place is starting to get to me. But even if I could reach that grate, it looks built into the rock itself. No way it's coming loose. I have a key. Big Book of Explosives, 1923 edition. Chapter 1.3, Black Match Fuse. The Black Match Fuse is one of the oldest, simplest, most reliable fuses used in modern pyrotechnics. It is easy to degrade, essentially consisting of just string and gunpowder. But be warned, the chemicals concerned will stain clothing, and as always, deconcern is advised. Materials required: string, black gunpowder, Bactrin. The string should be coated with a thin layer of Bactrin, which acts as an adhesive. The string is then carefully rolled into the gunpowder and left to dry at least a couple of minutes before use. There's a bunch of other stuff. I don't really care. What's that? I do not know. It's okay. Beef jerky. That one was just beef jerky. More beef jerky. Never have enough beef jerky. Yes. Is that a thing? Seems like you could have enough beef jerky. What the hell was that? Oh, it's like a wolf. Alright. It's not a monster. It's just a wolf. Jesus, I've never been this scared in my life. I can feel my heart racing. If anything gets within more than a few feet of my hiding spot, I better not stare it out. Anything within my field of vision might panic me, and then I'm a goner. Hallway. It's just a wolf. Wait, where did the wolf go though? Is it coming this way? Or am I good? Shit. I think I gotta go through here. chance it. Okay. We're good. It's locked. Locked from the other side. What is that noise? If the slider wasn't empty, be a handy thing to have. It's a crude representation of a scorched, writhing spider. The hell would you need that? It shows some kind of trapdoor, but I can't see where it would be. Just close that. It was different, but the same that time. Like I had more control. Though for what? Nothing back there. I think I gotta get rid of this stuff. Come on. Will you lift up for me? There you go. I'm sure it's safe, right? Why would we have to be worried down here? Christ, was that a spider? I don't like spiders. I don't like spiders either. It's okay though. Can we just chuck this at it? This seems important. We're gonna bring it with me. And leave it here. A dog. A horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified, or else the smell would have been awful. Yep, because that matters right now. It says, Day 1. I begin this record still in the hope that the great work we have undertaken here might one day be of scientific value. Despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous, my aim is to remain secure until what help there may be arrives, and to that end I have barricaded myself into a small workshop bearing the abandoned part of the mine. I hope that the meager food rations here will keep me alive, and that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps the mine really is cursed. It's almost precisely 30 years since that incident that brought us here, and now, 30 years on, fate has struck again. Day 3. I forecasted that today the rescue crews would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out and search them. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of rescue. My second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both those assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and I found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon I found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused but focused, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of feral creature, which seems to have made this old mine its home. Although this specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which I believe now is most likely a sprain, rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a smaller, disused part of the mine. The key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered the storeroom, and I think it should keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. My lesson learnt, I will not venture out again until I am certain the area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic. Supplies diminishing. Lots of spiders in this place. I do not like spiders. Day 34. I caught one of the accursed 8-legged beasts nestling in my open mouth. I woke